So in my experience, I work with a lot of developers and security teams, and one of the biggest challenges they face are building out components that they need to really fill out their business practices. So it's important to kind of take a look at some of the new frameworks that are getting added into the SDK. And I think two of them that were added that are really useful that I see a lot of people already kind of building on their own are these uniform type identifier frameworks and this automatic assessment configuration framework. So, what is uniform type identifier framework? It's just a way to identify information that's getting passed from your app to memory and just dealing with expected data types, knowing what you're going to be receiving. And that's really great, especially if you're dealing with a lot of media types, a lot of different types of data, and being able to identify types by MIME or other means is great. I see a lot of apps doing that today. I see a lot of security practices that kind of come into play with that too, especially with the ever expanding business cases that apps have. On the flip side of that, this other framework, automatic assessment configuration framework, this was actually added in 13.4, so it's fairly new. What does it do? And I'll give you a perfect business case or a real life case. Let's say you go to a testing center to take a certification or test, and they hand you an iPad and they say, hey, you're going to take the test on this iPad. If you're like me, your first thought is, well, can I get outside of the app and start looking for things on other pages in that iPad? Can I do other things there? People are building tools out that kind of lock you into those apps. Well, now there's a framework that does that for you. You don't have to build that out yourself. You don't have to rely on a third-party library to do that. It's in the SDK. So in my mind, I think of a lot of cases where this is useful. Test taking is one example. Maybe this is a great way for educators to have apps that they can kind of supply their students ways to learn, ways to access apps and stay focused on that one app that's educating them. The other cases, I see a lot of companies do this, where you show up and you want to sign up for their credit card or the rewards card or do something else. Maybe you're just looking at a wedding registry and you get onto their app and you can leave that app. That's not a good thing. They try to find ways to kind of lock you in that app because guess what? Everyone who accesses that iPad is untrusted. They're not somebody you should be working with or shouldn't be allowing to just access anything on that device. So what have they done? They've created an app kind of for those purposes. I also see like demo apps kind of being another use case for that. It'll be interesting to see a lot of organizations kind of adopt this because I think there's a lot of functionality there that I'm not even thinking of that really make this thing super useful. I think this is a really cool framework.